All right, welcome back to Hannity. All right, Hillary Clinton's blame game just continues. She has a brand new book, as you know, entitled What Happened? Well, Trump happened. Now, Clinton says it was her former competitor, Bernie Sanders, who, quote, paved the way for then-candidate Donald Trump to call her crooked Hillary. Now, she also knocked President Obama for his advice regarding Sanders during the campaign, saying, quote, President Obama urged me to grit my teeth and lay off poor Bernie as much as I could. I felt like I was in a straitjacket. Here was reaction. Fox News contributor Tomi Lehren. Radio, TV, talk show host Dr. Gina Loudon. Fox News contributor Jessica Tarlov. Does she ever blame Hillary?
She does.
When would she ever blame Hillary for being a horrible candidate that is corrupt?
Well, she's not going to sit there and say, hey, I'm a horrible candidate. But she certainly has talked about some of her weaknesses as a candidate.
Okay, but she blames, Tommy, everybody but herself.
Well, of course she did. I think it's also important to remember that she had to get help from the DNC just to beat Bernie, and now she wants to blame Bernie. The list of people that she has yet to blame is probably a shorter list than the one that she's already using to blame everyone and their mother for her loss. Hillary, what happened? You happened.
Ouch.
Well, it's a little bit more than what you happened, and I do think, and we were just talking about this, it is important to discuss the dynamic within the Democratic Party between the progressive left and a more moderate centrist bloc, which is where Hillary Clinton belongs. The majority of the party is. Bernie Sanders went out there and said that she wasn't qualified.
The party's going more left. You know this is true.
Terrible.
And they've overreached on Russia. All right, let me ask Gina Loudon. I am going to rely on the fact that you are a psychologist. Don't ever psychoanalyze me. You can do Tommy and Jessica.
Time. She does me all the time.
Okay, but there's something wrong if you don't have any introspective qualities. For example, I do a lot of wrong things in my life, but I know it. And I know every time I do something wrong. It's like ding, 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 ding. You know, a little voice in my head yelling at me, but I can do it anyway. So you basically declare I'm nuts. Go ahead.
In writing this tell-all, Sean, I believe Hillary exposed herself in ways that no pundit, no collusion evidence, no bleach bit could ever have done. Who writes a tell-all, Sean, bashing and blaming her own party right after a national election? This isn't when you write a tell-all. You write a tell-all years later. This tells you that for Hillary, once and for all, case closed, the American people know it, this was always about one thing, and that is Hillary.
If you had to diagnose...
It was all about Hillary.
What is the diagnosis?
We can't do that.
Well, all right, I won't ask you to do it.
Don't do it, because you don't like it when people say Trump is insane.
You can't...
Okay, that's
you can't diagnose people without actually clinically.
They have everyone that says it as Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh, and Gina has been up there, by the way, and she's said things about President Obama and his mental condition. Let's lay off the mental analysis.
Tommy, how does she not recognize that she is crooked? It's like, hello, mirror, take a look.
Well, here's the thing. Even if we're not talking about how crooked she is, which we know how I feel about that subject, the fact of the matter is she didn't show up. She forgot the average American.
Great point.
That is on her. She can't blame anyone else for that. So you can have any theory you want. We can talk about Hillary's mental capacity, her mental state. I don't even care about that. Show up. Show up in the places where the traditional Democrats would have voted for you. You didn't show up. You lost. Get over it. Go back to Whole Foods. Let's move on.
All right, guys. Good to see you all. Thanks for being